Welcome to Narcissism Freedom, a safe space for healing, clarity, and reclaiming your power. Whether you're new here or returning, I'm truly glad you're here. There comes a moment in every healing journey when something shifts deep within you. Not outwardly loud, not dramatic, but unshakable. It's the moment you stop explaining yourself. The moment you stop defending your boundaries. The moment you stop hoping they'll finally understand. And in that moment, you stand in your truth, and everything changes. This is the moment the narcissist loses all power over you. For so long, your energy was tied to their reactions, their approval, their moods, their silence. You learned to read the room, anticipate their needs, soften your voice, shrink your truth, and second-guess your instincts. Not because you were weak, but because you were trying to survive emotionally. You were trying to keep peace in a place that was never peaceful. But standing in your truth doesn't look like arguing. It doesn't look like convincing. It doesn't look like proving your worth. It looks like calm. It looks like clarity. It looks like no longer negotiating your reality. It looks like trusting yourself without needing anyone else's approval. When you stand in your truth, you stop asking for permission to exist. You stop waiting for closure. You stop hoping they'll finally change. You stop explaining your boundaries. You simply live them. You stop over-explaining. You stop over-justifying. You stop over-giving. And that's when their power collapses. Not because you fought harder, but because you stopped fighting at all. Not because you outplayed them, but because you stepped out of the game. A narcissist thrives on reaction, on emotional supply, on control, on confusion, on self-doubt. But when you are rooted in your truth, there is nothing left to manipulate. No emotional hooks. No cracks to exploit. No story to rewrite. Your silence becomes strength. Your peace becomes protection. Your boundaries become unbreakable. Your clarity becomes your shield. Standing in your truth means trusting your inner knowing, even when no one else validates it. It means honoring what your body felt, what your heart endured, and what your spirit survived. It means no longer gaslighting yourself for the sake of keeping others comfortable. And yes, it may feel lonely at first, because you're no longer playing a role that was never truly yours. You're no longer performing for approval. You're no longer shrinking to keep the peace. And when those patterns fall away, the space they leave behind can feel empty. But what replaces that loneliness is freedom, self-trust, stability, peace, emotional safety. A sense of grounding that no one else controls. This is not about becoming cold. This is not about becoming hardened. This is about becoming whole. This is about becoming emotionally sovereign. This is about choosing yourself without guilt, without apology, and without shame. Standing in your truth does not mean you become aggressive. It does not mean you confront. It does not mean you demand apologies. It means you release the need to be seen by someone who refuses to see you. It means you release the need to be validated by someone who built their identity on invalidating others. You don't need to confront them. You don't need closure from them. You don't need an apology. The moment you stand in your truth, you release yourself from their grip, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And that is real power. Because real power is not dominance. Real power is self-trust. Real power is self-respect. Real power is emotional freedom. Real power is peace that does not depend on someone else's behavior. When you stand in your truth, you stop reacting to their provocations. You stop internalizing their projections. You stop personalizing their dysfunction. You stop chasing their approval. You stop questioning your reality. You stop blaming yourself for their behavior. You begin to see clearly. You begin to feel steadily. You begin to trust deeply. You begin to choose differently. You begin to love yourself differently. And the narcissist feels that shift, not because you said anything, but because you changed. They feel it when you stop engaging. They feel it when you stop reacting. They feel it when their presence no longer affects your peace. That's when the power dynamic collapses. Because the power was never in them. It was in your attention. It was in your emotional energy. It was in your reactions. It was in your self-doubt. And when you reclaim that, there is nothing left for them to control. Standing in your truth also means grieving. grieving the relationship you hoped for, grieving the future you imagined, grieving the parts of yourself you lost along the way. But grief is not the end. It is the doorway to healing. It is the bridge between survival and self-connection. It is the soil where self-trust takes root. As you stand in your truth, you may notice that your standards change. Your boundaries change. Your energy changes. The way people treat you changes, because the way you treat yourself changes. You stop overgiving. You stop overfunctioning. You stop chasing. You stop fixing. You stop rescuing. You stop abandoning yourself. You start honoring your limits. You start honoring your needs. You start honoring your emotions. You start honoring your intuition. You start honoring your worth. And this does not make you selfish. It makes you healthy. You are not too sensitive. You are not too much. You are not asking for too much. You are simply asking the wrong person. Standing in your truth means choosing peace over chaos. It means choosing clarity over confusion. It means choosing self-trust over self-doubt. It means choosing alignment over attachment. It means choosing yourself. And when you choose yourself, you no longer need to be chosen by someone who cannot love you in a healthy way. That is the moment the narcissist loses all power over you. Not because you defeated them, but because you freed yourself. Not because you changed them, but because you changed your relationship with yourself. Not because you won, but because you walked away from the battlefield entirely. If this message resonates with you, know that you are not alone on this journey. Healing is not linear, but every step toward truth is a step toward freedom. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are healing. You are awakening. You are remembering who you are. Thank you for being here. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe to support the channel and help others find their way to healing too.